Good evening, pre-algebra. Mr. Lawrence here with your flipped lesson for December 15th. We're going to keep this one real straight. It's going to be very similar to what we did in class today. We're going to be creating a line, and I don't know if you realize this, but a line is going to be all the possible solutions to an equation, okay? All the possible solutions to an equation. So for example, let's say we have an equation like negative 3x plus 2y equals 6. All right. There is not one solution. You're used to doing problems where it just says like x equals 2 or x equals 5 or something like that. There's only one answer. In this case, there's not. There's an infinite number of answers. And the line is going to show us all possible answers. Okay, that's why we do it. And actually, this has lots of applications in the real world. You don't see them right now, but definitely I'll show a little bit of them. But in Algebra 1, you'll see more and more of them. All right, so let's take our table. I'm going to have x. I'm going to write down negative 3x plus 2y equals 6. Write down y, and then I need my point x, y. All right, now remember, I get to pick my points unless the worksheet or directions tell me specifically what to choose. So I'm going to pick 0 for x. I'll do my math and solve for y. Then I'm going to pick 0 for y. Okay, and then finally I'll pick another value for x. So let me get these 2 points here really quick. Let's see here. I know that x is 0, so I'm going to have negative 3. In parentheses, I'm going to put a 0. Plus 2y equals 6. I know that this is going to turn to 0, and 0 plus 2y is just a plain old 2y equals 6, and then I will get y alone, and so I know that y will equal 3. That means the point 0, 3 is one of the solutions on this line. It's not the only solution. There are many, many, many other solutions. All right. Now I said I was going to put 0 in for y. So I'll do negative 3x plus 2. And in parentheses, where y was, 0 is the same as y in this part of the problem. So I substitute 0 in y's place. Kind of like when Mr. Lawrence is out, you put a substitute in my place. Of course, nobody's the same as Mr. Lawrence, but that's beside the point. All right, I know that 2 times 0 is going to turn to 0. That's just like canceling out. Negative 3x plus 0 will be 0. So if I simplify my left-hand side, I get negative 3x equal to 6. The x is not alone. I need to divide by negative 3 on both sides, and I will come up with x equaling negative 2. All right, I'll put that in over here, and I know now that negative 2, 0 is on my line. Okay, so I have 2 points that are on my line. All right, we'll go down to a third point. And I think this time I'm going to plug in for x. I think I'm going to plug in a 2. No, I can't plug in 2 because I already have. Oh no, I can plug in 2, excuse me. I can't plug in negative 2 because of this guy. I can plug in 2, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put 2 in for x, negative 3, and in parentheses I'm going to put a 2. And then I have to add 2y, and I know that'll equal 6. This one won't cancel out. This will turn into negative 6 plus 2y. That'll equal 6. I'll use Saddam to get y alone. I'll add 6. Add 6. I'll get 2y equal to 12. Divide by 2 on each side. And then y will equal 6. All right, so I've got to extend my line here. When x is 2, I know that y is 6. That means the point 2, 6 is on my graph. We'll end up on the line. So what I have going on here is I have the point 0, 3, the point negative 2, 0, and the point 2, 6. all three of those points will need to be graphed on my line. And actually, they're going to be the points that I use to help me draw my line. So there's my line, or excuse me, there's my graph. Now, what did I say those points were? Well, the first point was 0, 3. So I'll plot the point 0, 3. Remember, that's my x-coordinate, that's my y-coordinate. I start at the origin, I count 0 in the x direction, and 3 in the y direction. 1, 2, 3. That's the point 0, 3 right there. Okay. The next point is negative 2, 0. Negative 2, 0. So I will go to the origin, count 2 in the negative direction, negative x direction, and 0 in the y direction. There's the point negative 2, 0. This was 0, 3. This point here is negative 2, 0. Okay. Then my final point ends up being 2, 6. Now, I'll bet you can see the line going through these 2 points. In fact, I will draw that line in. I'm going to draw that line in. And watch what's going to happen. Okay. So my third point needs to be 2 in the x direction and then 6 in the y direction. So I'll go 1, 2 in the x direction, then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. It's right on the line because I did my math correctly. Now typically what you're going to do is do 3 points and then draw your line. Okay? So that's what we're doing. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a new equation. Let's say this time we have the equation y equals 1/3 x minus 3. Let's not do minus 3, let's do minus 4. Okay. Going to make our table just like we did before. Got x, got y equal to 1/3 x minus 4, y, and then I need my point x, y. All right, I love picking 0 for x. I'm going to do it again. Y is going to equal 1/3. I need some parentheses because I'm substituting in. Put 0 in there, and then I will subtract 4. Simplify my math. I'm going to get y equals, those turn to 0, negative 4. Negative 4. So 0, negative 4 must be on my graph. All right. Now I love to pick 0 for y. It's usually a really good thing to do. Okay, this one's going to go off the graph a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to write down 0 equals 1/3 x minus 4. I didn't put the 0 in parentheses because there's nothing else next to it. I'll listen to Saddam, so I'll add 4 to each side, and I'll get 4 equals 1/3 x. A lot of you like to multiply by 3, so I'll do it that way to undo the division. And I'll end up with 12 is equal to x. So that means when y is 0, x is 12. So point 12, 0 must be on my graph. Okay, now for a third choice, I'm going to pick an x value. I know I have to do 1/3 of x. I am going to pick a number that 3 will divide into evenly. I'm going to pick, I can't pick 0 because x has already been chosen as 0. But I could pick any number that 3 will go into evenly. So if I count by 3s or sing the song like Kendra might, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. If I do that, I can pick any one of those numbers, except I can't pick 12 because 12 is already listed. So to make it simple, I'll take 6. So my equation will be, hold on one second, it'll be y equals 1/3 times 6. And I'm going to write a 6 over 1 because there's a 1/3 there. Yeah. And then I have to subtract 4 from whatever I get. All right, so y is going to equal, goes in once, goes in twice. This will turn into plain old 2 minus 4. Now stop and think. I know that 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 4 must be negative 2. So there's negative 2. My point is at 6, negative 2. All right, I'm ready to graph. I've got my 3 points. They are 0, negative 4, 12, 0, and 6, negative 2. I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one. I'm going to graph the first point and the third point, and then watch what happens with the second point. Okay, so I think 0, negative 4 was my first point. Yes, it was 0, negative 4. So I need the point 0, negative 4 on my graph. That's my x-coordinate. That's my y-coordinate. I go 0 in the x direction and then down 1, 2, 3, 4 in the y direction. So that's the point 0, negative 4. Okay. I need the point 6, negative 2. So I'm going to go 6, negative 2. 6 in the x direction, negative 2 in the y direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line right now, only because I've got such a large number for x over there, 12, 0. And watch what's going to happen. Watch what's going to happen. Let me draw my line in. And let's see, it looks like I went 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. It looks like it's going to look something like that. And let me move this. Oops. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, I'll put this one back in and just erase that point. Move that there only so that's not blocking the view. And this is 6, negative 2. And I need an arrowhead on both ends. Very important. My lines go forever. I don't stop at the points. The lines go forever. I go through, take up a good portion of the graph. Now, my third point was 12, 0, right? Well, I know that this is 10. So 11 would be approximately here. And then 12 would be right about there. 12 in the x direction is approximately here, and then 0 in the y direction keeps me there. And look at that. That's right where my line's going through, isn't it? Okay, even though it went off the graph, I could still guesstimate pretty good where it goes. All right, tomorrow in class, you're going to get a lot of practice with this kind of stuff. It's a very important concept. I can tell you what it's for, but I'd rather show you in the days and weeks to come. All right, so a nice quick lesson for you. And this is Mr. Lawrence signing off.